Hello everybody, it's Rob here. Today I want to talk about the Nightmare Dungeon tier list for Season 2. Basically, Blizzard has announced a couple days after the blog post that we're gonna get a new Nightmare Dungeon rotation, just like every season. Here is the blog post from Adam Fletcher, I'm gonna put that in the description as well. And he basically stated 30 new dungeons that are becoming Nightmare Dungeons next season. There's a couple dungeons that make a return from Season 0, basically from launch, Renegade's Retreat, for example. There's a couple more that we already had as Nightmare Dungeons. But I figured it would be good to go in and make a quick overview list. Actually, it took quite some time to play through all 30 dungeons and get an overview list here to you guys, which dungeons are the best. Obviously, we haven't played the new patch, and there might be some density changes, and they also said they're looking into some layout improvements for some of the Nightmare Dungeons. So some of these might change, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't expect the dungeon to change completely. On some dungeons, you might just be able to go straight to the boss. On some dungeons, you're gonna have less dead ends. But overall, I think this is gonna be a very solid tier list to kind of have in mind as you play, and to like prioritize some of the dungeon keys, especially if you are playing in a group with multiple people, where you have basically access to 4 times more Nightmare Dungeon sigils / keys to access all of these. So yeah, in the end, we definitely want to pay attention to that. And keep in mind, this list is made with like group farming in mind. In solo, the list might look similar, but it's gonna be different on some occasions here. Because obviously you can't split farm, right? For example, the S tier I think is going to be uncontested. It's going to be the Ziroko Caverns. It's spider mob type. Probably, as you guys remember, it's very similar to the Ceret's lair that we've been farming in Season 1. It's a very cool layout. I have like screenshots of all the layouts here, but I put that link in the description as well. And you can kind of look at them. See, here's the entrance, and you can like make an easy split. Like one group goes down here, the other group goes down here. You need to finish this loop first, then you unlock the second loop. And here we basically have double efficiency in group, by just having one team go to the left and one team go to the right, and basically finish the dungeon that way. I can quickly show you in game what I'm talking about, why this is S tier. Like we go into the dungeon, it's gonna be really insane because it just has so many monsters, and this is a normal dungeon right now because the season isn't live, the patch isn't live. It's located right here on the map, and yeah, if we're going in, we also have this like little step down here. We are playing the Whirlwind Bleed Barb. I'm gonna put the link in the description. It's probably gonna be one of the best builds next season, and you can already see here we have these kind of like very nice monsters here, and there's like more monsters spawning as we go. You see, we kill this, we get more monsters, and the spiders, they spawn even more spiders, these spider hosts. You guys know the drill. It's just, we're not gonna take the conduit here just to show you. So there's a massive density, and it's reminding us a lot of, you see, like this is already like many monsters, and we just play Whirlwind Bleed Barb. The build's gonna get buffed like crazy in the season. And there's lots of elites here as well, and yeah, you can like kind of split farm these and just destroy the first objective as we go into the second part. Everybody wants to do, we want to have keys of this dungeon. Right now there's not a way to reset the Nightmare Dungeons, so we'll have to see what we're gonna do. But if you're playing in a group, like there's a good chance you pick the top 4, the top 5 dungeons, and you can run these and chain these all the time in a good group. If you are playing, you are paying attention basically to the keys that you're using. There's here again like a lot of density. You can see here, just good stuff, good monsters, lots of elites here. Like this is like what, almost 10 elites right here. They're spawning like even more spiders here to kill again, basically. Again, that's basically how it's gonna go like the entire round. And the other team could like go down here and sort of split from there, right? Then this is like the best dungeon in the game. It's probably the only S tier dungeon, because the rest is just so far behind. This is like really, really good. If you have a key of these, always play them. Then we have the good dungeons. These are in no particular order. Like these 3 are really good. I also have the farming lanes here. It's the Sanguine Chapel. There's a pedestal quest, and you can double split here. You can see one team can go here, one team can go here, just get good XP. Then there's a slay all monster with ambush, but again, you can double split this. Like you just go 2 different directions. One team goes here, one team goes here. Then you just sort of kill the boss in the boss room. Really quick, really solid, good XP. The Belfier Zakara is very similar. You need to destroy belts in the start of the dungeon. Probably an O missing here. So you can like make an easy split here again. Split here again after you get a key and open the door, and you can like split all the way basically. So 100% XP efficiency all the time. Carrion fields are very similar also. You can potentially even make a 4-way split, because there's basically, you can't see it right on the screen because the loop is a bit cut. There's basically 4 loops here that you can do. And then you have a boss fight in the middle. But this is essentially a quadruple split. 4 people split. Really good. And then the next tier that's worth mentioning here is B tier. You have Goa Ruins, the Whispering Vault, Jalaldas Vigil. This is an old dungeon that we had on launch already. You can also see you can make solid splits here. I didn't like count the ways. I mean, it's like very straightforward. Like you split here whenever there's like a choice to go. You just split 2-2 with the group. You have still the 10% party buff modifier. If you just split 2 people go one way and then 2 people go the other way. Really solid. Main, thanks for the T1. So you always get a 10% XP, which is now a multiplicative bonus. So you always want to do that. And next one we have the Flooded Depth here, Renegade's Retreat. This one might not be as good in solo, but it's very good in group because you can split it pretty efficiently. You basically have to slay 3 boss monsters and then get a key to open the door and kill the boss. Like you can probably run this dungeon in 1 minute in a good group and get very fast and easy glyph XP and also XP from the turn-in, right? Renegade's Retreat, this is also like a launch dungeon. Deserted Underpass, also pretty good. Good split, kill 3. And there's also spiders in here. The spider host, always a very good mob type. Just to gain yourself some juicy experience. And then we have the Lights Watch here. Also, you need to slay Watchmen. You have a room and then a boss. Also very good to split. We have screenshots of everything. You can zoom in a bit further if this is too small for you, because you can't like make them bigger by yourself. But you can just zoom in, zoom out on the screenshots. They should be like decently high res. Yeah, Lights Watch. Buried Hall, also an easy split here. We have basically like 2 big rooms here. So very easy, like you go together, then 2 people go left, 2 people go right, you finish the objective, you go to the boss, boom. And again, they said they're gonna remove some of the objectives even, so. Even if they remove some of the objectives, if your main goal is to get to level 100 as quick as possible, you still wanna do, you know, like a big pull in the rooms, just to get some juicy XP. So probably it's not the best idea to run straight to the boss. Then we have the Vault of the Forsaken, also pretty good for split farming here. And very decent for glyph XP, because you can, you just need to slay 3 monsters twice and then kill a boss. And that's gonna be yeah, really good for that stuff. Now then we go to C tier. I mean, there's a bunch of basically more dungeons here. C tier is yeah, the biggest here in the tier list, because it's just okay dungeons. But I think if you have a decent group, like if you play with a couple of friends, like you can basically only play S, A, and B tier. And C tier I wouldn't even bother with necessarily. Yeah, and F tier, I think Endless Gate. This has to be the worst dungeon in the game. Because you basically have to like pour into a different map and you can't even split farm it, and it's just really bad. And there's a couple of these that are not that great. But yeah. This is the list. Like again, I wouldn't do anything like C and F tier. I wouldn't do. If you have a really dedicated group, just focus S and A tier. And yeah, B tier you could add to your rotation if you're looking for some more glyph XP, or if you're running out of S and A tier Nightmare Dungeons, sigils, keys. So yeah, in the end, I hope this helps you to just like, you know, sort of figure out which dungeons you want to do, what you want to prioritize. But finally, we don't know for sure what the best XP strategy is going to be. It used to be Nightmare Dungeons in Season 1, but they have buffed the Legion events pretty significantly, the Whispers pretty significantly, and the Hell Tides pretty significantly. And right now there's no way to reset the Nightmare Dungeon. So even if you have the Caverns key, you can only run it once. That's it. Unless you want to like wait 90 seconds between the runs, but that's not necessarily viable. However, you could maybe do whispers like in the downtime or something, like some shenanigans like this. We'll see what the XP meta really is going to be. Or maybe even doing normal dungeons could be good, or combining like Legion events with whispers with Helltide. I like that, you know, Nightmare Dungeons, Blasting Nightmare Dungeons is not the one and only XP meta. As they buff the other events, it's basically closing the gap between the two, or between like Nightmare Dungeons and all the other events. And it really remains to be seen. We don't have access to the patch yet. And the patch is launching right when the season launches. So we have no real way of knowing what the best is going to be in terms of XP. So we just have to go in blind and, well, adjust on the fly and see how it's going to go. Anyways, this list is in the description. It's always good to be prepared, just in case. Nightmare Dungeons are still good. I still believe Nightmare Dungeons are going to be a very easy, fast way to get XP. Mainly because you can get the monster level difference to be up to 10 levels higher for another 15% XP boost. And if you can do them efficiently with strong builds buffed by the Pact, such as Whirlwind, Bleed Barbarian, or Twisting Blade Rogue, you're gonna have a lot of fun, I think, and gonna crush through these Nightmare Dungeons and gain a lot of XP and blast 200 quickly. I'll be racing, I'm gonna be playing in a group, and yeah, we'll be using a lot of these strategies. And I hope it's gonna go well. Looking forward to it. I hope you do too, and I will see you soon. Take care. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.